doctors recommend this one food to restore leg power in just 12 hours. There is one food that is so incredibly familiar, yet most of us have never fully understood just how powerful it truly is. Beyond its ability to restore strength to aging legs, it also plays a remarkable role in protecting the brain, supporting the heart, and even nourishing our bones. In today's video, we are going to uncover the surprising benefits of this everyday food that has been part of our lives for generations. And yes, that food is the simple egg. Before we begin, leave a comment right below and let us know where you are watching from. And make sure you stay with us until the very end, because you might discover something new about eggs that you never imagined before. The secret is waiting for you at the end of this video. Now, let's begin together. Number 1. Eggs rebuild leg strength within hours. It may sound unbelievable, but research has shown that something as simple as a single egg can help restore leg muscle strength in as little as 12 hours. This effect is not magic, but rather the result of biology at work. As the body ages, muscle fibers shrink and the ability to repair them slows down, a condition known as sarcopenia. What most people do not realize is that the decline is not just about age, but also about the lack of essential nutrients that fuel muscle regeneration. The science is clear. Eggs provide one of the richest natural sources of leucine, an amino acid that triggers a process called muscle protein synthesis. In older adults, this process needs a stronger signal to activate compared to younger individuals. Leucine acts like the ignition key, telling the body to start repairing and rebuilding muscle tissue after every small injury or daily wear. A study from the University of Texas demonstrated that older adults who consumed high-quality protein, especially from eggs, showed a measurable increase in leg muscle performance within hours compared to those who relied on carbohydrates alone. Beyond strength, the question of safety is always present. Decades ago, concerns about cholesterol led many people to avoid eggs, but modern research has overturned this fear. For most individuals, moderate egg consumption does not significantly raise blood cholesterol or increase cardiovascular risk. Instead, eggs provide a balance of nutrients including vitamin D, essential for bone strength, and choline, vital for brain health. Of course, medical advice should always be personalized. People with specific conditions such as uncontrolled diabetes or severe heart disease should consult their physicians before making dietary changes. What makes this even more powerful is the simplicity of the action. Imagine preparing a boiled egg in the evening as part of a light supper. That egg provides the protein surge the body needs overnight when muscle repair is most active. By morning, the benefits are already at work, supporting steadier steps and more stable balance. Leg strength is not only about walking, it is about independence, confidence, and freedom in daily life. The science shows that one small choice, repeated consistently, can fight back against the natural slowdown of aging. An egg on the plate each evening is not just food. It is an act of resilience, a practical way to keep the body strong, steady, and capable of carrying forward into the next day with greater vitality. Number 2. Leg strength equals independence. Have you ever noticed how losing a bit of leg strength can change almost everything about daily life? For many older adults, this quiet decline often goes unnoticed, until one day the stairs feel steeper, the grocery bags feel heavier, or standing up from a chair suddenly requires effort. Research from the National Institute on Aging highlights that lower body strength is the single most important predictor of maintaining independence in later years. Strong legs mean the ability to drive to the farmer's market, tend to a garden, walk into church on Sunday, or simply get up without relying on someone else's hand. Independence is not just physical, it is emotional, and leg strength is its foundation. Consider the story of Mrs. Thompson, a retired teacher from Ohio, who once feared she would have to move into assisted living after struggling with repeated falls. Her doctor encouraged her to rebuild her leg strength through both targeted exercises and simple dietary choices that included high-quality protein from eggs each morning. Within 3 months, she noticed not only fewer stumbles, but also a newfound confidence in her ability to walk unassisted to the park with her grandchildren. Her independence, once slipping away, had been reclaimed step by step. From a biological perspective, aging naturally reduces muscle fibers, particularly the fast twitch fibers in the legs responsible for balance and quick reactions. This process, called sarcopenia, begins as early as the 50s and accelerates with inactivity or poor nutrition. The encouraging truth is that muscle remains highly adaptive at every age. Providing the right fuel and stimulation, such as daily movement and adequate protein intake, triggers muscle repair and growth even in the late 70s and 80s. Safety, of course, matters deeply. Rebuilding leg strength should always be tailored to one's health condition. For some, walking laps around the living room is enough to begin, while others may enjoy water aerobics, gentle yoga, or resistance bands. Combining movement with accessible foods like a simple scrambled egg breakfast creates a powerful synergy. Every bite and every step contribute to preserving the most valuable treasure of aging well, the dignity of independence. The practical action here is beautifully simple. Tomorrow morning, add 1 egg to breakfast and commit to rising from your chair 10 extra times during the day. Small actions compound. Over time, this routine not only rebuilds physical strength, but restores something even greater, the freedom to live life on your own terms. Number 3, eggs fuel both body and brain. When Dr. Lisa Reynolds, a neurologist in Boston, visited her 72-year-old patient, Mr. Harris, she expected another routine checkup. Instead, she was surprised. For years, he had complained of foggy memory and difficulty concentrating. But this time, he recalled details of their last conversation, even quoting a joke she had made. When asked what had changed, he smiled and explained that his granddaughter had encouraged him to eat 2 eggs for breakfast every morning. Though simple, this shift gave him both physical stamina and a sharper mind. Science explains why his experience is more than coincidence. Eggs are one of the richest natural sources of choline, a nutrient critical for producing acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter that allows brain cells to communicate effectively. Studies from the University of North Carolina have shown that older adults who consume higher levels of choline perform better on memory and attention tests. For a senior, this can mean remembering where the car keys are, recalling a neighbor's name, or following the steps of a beloved recipe without confusion. At the same time, eggs provide high-quality protein and leucine, which activate muscle repair and preservation. The connection between body and brain is inseparable. When muscles are nourished, movement improves. When movement improves, blood flow to the brain increases, enhancing cognitive health. This cycle of mutual support reveals why one simple food can protect both strength and memory at once. The aging brain is vulnerable to gradual decline, but it is not powerless. While no single food is a magic cure, incorporating nutrient-dense options like eggs creates a protective layer against cognitive impairment. The safety of this habit lies in moderation and personalization. For most healthy older adults, 1 to 2 eggs daily fits comfortably into a balanced diet. For those with specific conditions such as elevated cholesterol or diabetes, guidance from a trusted physician ensures the habit supports overall well-being. The lesson is clear. A warm omelet in the morning is more than breakfast. It is an act of preservation, a signal to both body and brain that life is still vibrant and capable. Imagine sitting at the kitchen table, savoring each bite, and knowing that such a small choice may help sustain both your independence and your memories. The path to aging gracefully is not hidden in complexity, but in these simple, consistent acts of nourishment. Number 4, a timeless American tradition. Few people realize that the humble egg has appeared on American breakfast tables for over 300 years, making it one of the nation's most enduring food traditions. From the early colonial kitchens of New England, where farmers relied on eggs as a dependable source of energy, to the bustling diners of the 1,952nd serving sunny-side-up plates with toast and coffee, eggs have quietly woven themselves into the fabric of American life. What may surprise many is how this simple food has not only nourished generations, but has also shaped cultural memory and family bonds. Consider the story of Mary Thompson, now 78. Who recalls waking up on her family's farm in Kentucky to the sound of her mother cracking eggs into a skillet before sunrise. For her, the scent of scrambled eggs was not just breakfast, it was security, a sign that the day was beginning with warmth and care. Decades later, she finds comfort in passing that same ritual to her grandchildren, believing that an egg breakfast connects them to something larger than a meal. It connects them to history. This cultural thread carries scientific weight. Eggs have always been valued not only for their flavor, but also for their nutritional resilience. Unlike many foods that fade with trends, eggs remain relevant because they deliver exactly what aging bodies need: protein for muscles, choline for the brain, and essential vitamins such as B12 and D for overall vitality. Researchers at Harvard have even noted that traditional eating patterns, where eggs are a frequent breakfast food, correlate with better long-term health outcomes in older populations. Yet beyond science, there is something profoundly emotional about continuity. Eating eggs today can remind someone of mornings in their childhood home, family gatherings on Sunday after church, or even the simple comfort of a diner breakfast during a road trip across Route 66. These moments are not trivial. They carry the psychological power of routine, belonging, and stability, all of which are proven to support mental well-being in older age. The lesson here is that food is never just food. For seniors, preparing an egg in the morning is more than nourishment. It is a ritual that honors memory, celebrates culture, and sustains health. By embracing this timeless tradition, one is not simply eating, one is participating in a story that stretches across generations, binding the past with the present while nourishing hope for the future. Number 5. Simple, yet powerful. It is often in the simplest things that true strength is found. For many older adults, the world of health advice can feel overwhelming. So many supplements, so many complicated diets, so many promises that never quite deliver. Yet sometimes the body asks for nothing more than a single, honest food, one that has stood the test of time and proven itself powerful in ways that modern medicine continues to confirm. That food is the egg. Imagine walking into your kitchen on a quiet morning. No prescription bottles to count, no complicated meal plans to follow, just the gentle act of boiling or scrambling one egg. Within that unassuming shell lies a complete source of high-quality protein, carrying essential amino acids that aging muscles require to rebuild and recover. Science shows that leucine, a key amino acid abundant in eggs, can stimulate muscle protein synthesis in as little as a few hours after eating. For someone struggling with weak legs or slower recovery, that is not just nutrition, it is a lifeline. This truth became clear in the story of Robert Jenkins, a 72-year-old from Ohio, who once believed that strength could only come from elaborate exercise programs or costly supplements. Yet his physician encouraged him to return to basics, include an egg each morning. Within weeks, Robert noticed a shift. Standing from a chair became easier. His walks around the block felt more secure, and he began to trust his legs again. What seemed like a small change revealed itself as a profound turning point. The simplicity is what makes this approach powerful. Eggs require no elaborate recipes to unlock their benefits. A poached egg on whole grain toast or a quick omelet with vegetables is enough to fuel both body and mind. And unlike many complex regimens that can leave one feeling dependent or confused, the egg offers clarity, self-reliance, and consistency. The larger message is that aging well does not always demand grand solutions. It calls for wisdom, the kind that recognizes that health is not built on excess but on balance. One egg, prepared with care and enjoyed with intention, carries the weight of both science and tradition. It is a reminder that power does not always come in complicated packages, but often in the simple gifts that life has placed in our hands all along. Number 6. Foundation for joyful movement. Loss of muscle strength in the legs is the number one predictor of loss of independence in older adults, said Dr. Roger Fielding, a leading researcher in gerontology at Tufts University. This single statement carries a weight that cannot be ignored. When the legs weaken, it is not only mobility that is at stake, but the very sense of freedom that defines life. Statistics confirm this reality. Nearly 40% of adults over the age of 65 struggle with diminished lower body strength, and this weakness increases the risk of falls, hospitalizations, and dependency. Yet there is hope in something as ordinary as the foods we choose each day. Take, for instance, the case of Margaret Ellis, a 76-year-old retired teacher from Virginia. She loved gardening, but knee pain and unsteady legs made it nearly impossible for her to kneel in the soil or carry watering cans. A physician advised her not only to practice gentle balance exercises, but also to include an egg with breakfast each morning. Within months, the combination of high-quality protein and the amino acid leucine supported her muscle repair in ways that no supplement ever had. Margaret returned to her garden with newfound energy, tending to her roses as though reclaiming a lost part of herself. The truth is, leg strength is more than muscle. It is the foundation of joyful movement. It is the ability to dance slowly with a partner at a wedding, to walk hand in hand with a grandchild at the park, to join a family picnic without the quiet fear of falling. When the body feels strong, the spirit feels liberated. Movement becomes not just function, but celebration. What makes this lesson powerful is that it can be applied by anyone starting tonight. By adding one simple egg into an evening or morning meal, the body is given a source of complete nourishment designed by nature itself. Paired with light daily activity, perhaps 10 minutes of stretching or a slow walk, the results compound over time. Science may explain the mechanisms, but lived experience proves the transformation. To regain leg strength is to regain independence, and to regain independence is to reclaim joy. That is the foundation worth protecting. And it begins with something as small, as humble, and as extraordinary as an egg. Number 7, eggs as a bridge to community. One of the deepest fears that many older adults rarely speak aloud is the fear of loneliness. It is not the silence of the house that hurts most, but the absence of shared meals, laughter around the table, and the comforting presence of family or friends. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that loneliness can have the same negative impact on health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day, raising the risks of heart disease, dementia, and premature death. This is not just about mood, it is about survival. Consider the story of James Walker, a 78-year-old veteran from Ohio. After his wife passed away, he lived alone for years, his meals reduced to canned soup and crackers. The isolation deepened his fatigue, and the days blurred together. Then his daughter suggested a small family breakfast every Sunday, where James would bring his famous scrambled eggs. At first, it felt like a simple gathering, but soon it became the highlight of his week. The act of preparing eggs, sharing them with his grandchildren, and seeing the joy on their faces slowly pulled him back into connection. His doctor noticed not only improvements in his energy, but also a healthier outlook on life. What this reveals is that eggs are not only food for the body, but also food for the spirit. They carry cultural weight in American history, from Sunday brunches to holiday breakfasts, symbolizing togetherness and tradition. Sharing an omelet with a neighbor, teaching a grandchild how to make sunny-side-up eggs, or simply enjoying boiled eggs with a spouse at the kitchen table is far more than nutrition. It is an act of belonging, a reminder that no one is truly alone. Science shows that communal meals reduce stress hormones, lower blood pressure, and improve immune response. Yet beyond the numbers, the feeling of being seen and valued is what nourishes the heart most. A single egg can be the center of a gathering, a bridge to conversation, and a reason to invite someone over. Loneliness may be a hidden fear, but connection is the hidden cure. And sometimes the path back to community begins with something as humble as cracking an egg, sitting down together, and letting the warmth of shared food remind us that we still belong. Number 8, the hidden power of routine. Imagine two neighbors, both in their late 70s, living on the same quiet street in Ohio. Mr. Davis wakes up each morning at the same hour, boils an egg, makes his tea, and sits by the window while he eats. His day starts with calm, steady energy, and his movements remain sure and balanced. Across the street, Mrs. Turner rises at irregular times. Some mornings she skips breakfast. Other days she grabs a sugary pastry on her way to the store. Her energy swings wildly, some days feeling strong, other days nearly too weak to leave the house. Over the months, the difference between them becomes undeniable. Mr. Davis walks confidently to the farmer's market every Saturday, while Mrs. Turner increasingly avoids outings because she feels unsteady and drained. This contrast may seem unfair, but science explains it clearly. Research from the University of California shows that routine anchors the body's natural rhythms. When protein is consumed at the same time daily, muscle recovery improves by up to 20%, blood sugar stabilizes, and fatigue decreases. The body thrives not on surprises, but on consistency. A simple egg eaten every morning becomes a signal that reassures both the muscles and the mind. Stability is here, strength is on the way. For seniors, routine is more than just a schedule, it is a lifeline. Psychologists note that predictability reduces anxiety and creates a sense of safety. Mr. Davis does not just eat his egg for nutrition. He eats it as a ritual of control and self-respect. Mrs. Turner, without realizing it, lets her irregular mornings erode her health, leaving her body unprepared for the challenges of aging. The hidden power of routine lies not in dramatic changes, but in quiet, steady choices. One egg each morning, repeated day after day, builds resilience in ways no quick fix can. It proves that independence is not lost to time, but preserved through discipline. And in the end, the difference between two lives, one steady, one scattered, comes down to a single habit that restores both strength and dignity. Number 9, eggs as a symbol of renewal. There is a silent danger many older adults overlook. The belief that aging automatically means decline, that once strength or memory begins to fade, nothing can be done to restore it. This mindset is more dangerous than any illness, because it steals hope before the body has even had a chance to fight back. Too often, people surrender to the thought that weakness is permanent, when in reality the human body has remarkable capacity to renew itself, even in the later decades of life. Science continues to prove this truth. A study from Harvard Medical School revealed that seniors who consistently improved their protein intake, even after age 70, regained muscle mass and stability within weeks. The body, though older, still responds to nourishment and care. Renewal is not reserved for youth. It is a lifelong gift waiting to be unlocked. This is where the egg carries both symbolic and practical power. Each egg, small and simple, holds the promise of life itself, rich in amino acids, vitamins, and minerals that awaken muscles and sharpen memory. Culturally, eggs have long represented beginnings. From spring festivals in America to family brunches on Easter morning, the egg has stood as a reminder that every season of life offers a chance to start fresh. For someone who feels tired, fragile, or discouraged, holding on to this symbol can shift the mind from resignation to possibility. A daily egg is not just food, it is a declaration that tomorrow can be stronger, steadier, and brighter than today. This renewal is not abstract. Picture the older adult who once needed a cane for every step, but after months of steady nourishment and gentle exercise rises with balance and confidence. That transformation is not a miracle, it is the natural result of giving the body what it still craves to heal. Renewal does not mean erasing age, but embracing it as a chapter filled with growth and strength. The warning remains clear. Do not fall into the trap of believing nothing can change. Renewal is always possible, and sometimes it begins with something as small as a single egg each morning. Number 10, small choices, big changes. It sounds almost contradictory, but sometimes the smallest decisions carry the greatest weight. People often think only grand gestures or drastic lifestyle overhauls can change their health. Yet history and science consistently show that transformation often begins with a single, seemingly modest step. The paradox lies in the fact that while age may limit certain abilities, it magnifies the impact of small, intentional choices. Consider nutrition researcher Dr. Christopher Gardner at Stanford University, who once remarked that seniors often underestimate how even a single daily addition like one egg can create measurable improvements in strength, balance, and cognition. When studied over 12 weeks, older adults who made this minor adjustment reported not just stronger legs, but clearer memory and a more stable mood. What seems like a simple breakfast choice quietly rewired the body's resilience. The paradox deepens when viewed through lived experience. Imagine two individuals in their 70s. One chooses to incorporate a daily boiled egg with morning tea, while the other dismisses it as too trivial to matter. Weeks later, the first finds walking up the stairs less daunting, gardening more enjoyable, and even sleep more restful. The second, meanwhile, continues to struggle, believing change requires something too big to attempt. What separates them is not money, luck, or youth, but the courage to act on one small choice. American history itself is filled with similar truths. Communities did not transform through sudden miracles, but through steady, humble steps. A farmer planting seeds each season, a family saving coins to build a future, a neighborhood gathering for Sunday meals. These acts, minor in appearance, built legacies that shaped generations. The lesson is profound for anyone in their later years. Do not dismiss the power of small actions. Renewal, strength, and joy are not reserved for extraordinary efforts, but are born out of the smallest, consistent decisions. An egg a day is not just nourishment, it is proof that every choice counts, and that change is always within reach. My dear friends, as we close today's story, let us pause for a moment and reflect. Growing older is often painted as a picture of loss, weakening legs, fading memory, and slowing days. But that is not the whole truth. Age is not only about decline, it is also about wisdom, resilience, and the chance to rediscover strength in the simplest, most ordinary places. Take the egg, for example. So small, so humble, yet so powerful. Inside, it carries the very building blocks of renewal. Protein to restore weary muscles, choline to sharpen the mind, vitamin D to steady the bones. Modern science tells us what generations before us seemed to know in their hearts. Sometimes the most extraordinary solutions are hidden in plain sight, waiting quietly at our table. But the story is not only about food. It is about hope, about the quiet victories that come when we choose to keep moving, to keep nourishing, to keep believing. Remember the grandmother who found her confidence again, the veteran who healed through Sunday breakfasts, the neighbor whose simple routine gave him balance and peace. Their lives remind us that small actions repeated with love and intention can change everything. So tomorrow, when you rise, don't think of aging as an end. Think of it as another beginning. Boil an egg, take a gentle walk, share a meal with someone you love. These little rituals are not just habits, they are declarations that life is still rich, still worth savoring, still offering you its strength. Now I want to invite you. What small steps will you take today to care for yourself? Share your answer in the comments below. Your story might give another soul the courage to begin. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so now. By joining us, you'll be part of a community that believes aging is not a burden, but a blessing, and that every day holds the chance for renewal. Explore our other videos too. You'll find wisdom, science, and stories to guide you toward a healthier, fuller life. Thank you for watching. May your day be filled with light, with hope, and with the quiet strength to keep moving forward. Remember, it is never too late to begin again, never too late to stand tall, and never too late to live with joy.